Being a Christian mom is a beautiful journey, but sometimes it can feel overwhelming. Do you ever think about how we find balance in our role as a mom? It is important to always remember that our children learn by watching us. We are their example in their guiding light. We can't forget to be present, attentive, and focus on our role as a mom. My mom was a pastor, and I can remember when I was very young, some of the basic things that I learned from her is how to pray, how to talk to God, how to live by faith. She had 7 children, and she was also single. She didn't depend on her children's dad to take care of her and them. She trusted in God. Another thing I learned from her is how to have a genuine, strong relationship with God. And I learned all of that just by watching her. I would say the main thing that my mom was lacking in when I was a child is she wasn't attentive to her children's needs. God came first. And being that she was a pastor and also a full-time evangelist, the time that she was at home, she would be preoccupied, counseling, out handling church business, or getting herself ready for the next revival. One of the ways to be present and attentive to your children's needs is by prayer, spending time with God. And I know you may ask, okay, you say that we have to have balance and you want to make sure that you're not just only focusing on your spiritual life. But I've learned so much by just praying. And the things that I would pray about was, God, help me to be a better mom. Help me to be an example to my children. Teach me how to be a good stepmom, how to be a good wife to my husband, how to be a good pastor's wife. I was aware that I needed help, and I was concerned about my personal relationships. And I knew that I needed to have a balanced relationship with God because I didn't want my children to go lacking. I didn't want them to feel like the way that I did as a child. One of the main things that I learned about prayer is it doesn't only change a situation, it also changes you. It changes your behavior if you know what to pray about. And if you are aware of things that you want to become better at. God is concerned about everything that you are concerned about. Prayer helps us to find the strength that we need to navigate the challenges of motherhood. So as we nurture our relationship with God, we can also include our children in our spiritual journey. So just by reading the Bible and praying around our children fosters a strong foundation of faith in our family. Growing up, I can remember we used to live maybe like 2 or 3 blocks from our church. And my mom, she liked it to get up maybe like at 12 o'clock in the morning, and she would walk to the church and I would go with her. And she would be there for, I would say, at least an hour. And she would cry out to God. I didn't pray for the whole while because I just couldn't pray that long. But I do remember by just listening to her pray, it taught me how to pray. And I would cry out to God as well. And I also learned at a young age that God does answer children's prayers because He answered mine. When you pray, ask God to help you in areas of your life as a mom that you need to improve in, and be honest with God. I'm also a stepmom, and I was just 21 years old when my husband and I got married. I can remember being nervous because I wanted to be a good stepmom. And I knew, being that my husband had a couple of children already, that it was going to be difficult in our marriage. So I prayed to God a lot. And the things that I prayed about, I asked Him to help me to love my stepchildren and help me to treat them like I want someone to treat my children, and to give me a genuine love. So once God seen my heart, and not only just my heart, He seen that I was trying in my behavior. And at first, I had to put forth an effort. After I made the first step a couple of times, God gave me what I needed, and it helped me to be a good stepmom. Even if your mom wasn't a good example for you, you still can change your behavior. Don't make excuses for it. Just try to do a little better each day. In finding balance, we have to remember that being a Christian is not solely on just being spiritual. It's about being present, engaged, and showing love to our children. As a mom in ministry, when I look back over my life, there have been many a times to where I made time for others, but I didn't have personal, individual time for my children. And that wasn't fair to them. But I'm thankful that I recognized that there was an issue. I had to observe my behavior and rethink my priorities. I had to regroup and get back on track to what's important to me. So let's remember to find that balance and equally intentional about the best mom we can be. Do you have an issue with finding balance? If so, what are you doing about it? And also, please share this video with a friend. I hope that you find the balance that you need and continue to nurture both mom and faith. Stay tuned for the next upcoming video about how to find balance. Bye.